Hey folks, old Hunter here. Been a while since I've done one of my shows. I had a pretty good little episode here about 6 months ago. Uh, I doubt it just wasn't my time to go because I wouldn't be here if it was. I went up to the VA to get a shot in my knee, and on the way out to the truck, I had a heart attack. Well, I made it back into the emergency room, and that evening, after they run tests on it, said, "You got to have a stent put in. Your main artery going to your heart's blocked up pretty good." So he took me down right then that evening. They put a stent in me. Well, I felt pretty good, you know. Next morning, here comes 3, 4 doctors in the room and said, "Mr. Cox, we got to talk to you about something." I said, "What's that?" I said, "Well, we think you got a defective heart valve. It's not working right, and we need to send you over to University Hospital where they do that type of work and get you checked out." I said, "Let's go." They sent me over there. So I go over there. They run all the tests on me, and the woman doctor, the one that does it, Dr. Ashley, she come in the room. She says, "You definitely have a serious problem with your heart valve." She said, "We need to put a pig valve in you." She said, "We'll go through both of your groins and do a pig valve." I said, "When?" She said, "Well, just as soon as possible." She said, "The operating room is open to seating. I want to do it to seating." I said, "Let's go for it." But that evening, they took me down there and put a pig valve in me. Well, she checked everything. She said it's working like it's supposed to. You're getting plenty of blood through your body and all, you know. So next morning, I'm laying in my bed there, and here comes 3 more doctors in the room. "What's wrong now?" She said, "Well, your heart ain't beating right. You need a pacemaker." This is Dr. Hamilton. He's the one that does that. I said, "When?" He said, "Just as soon as I get an opening in the operating room." So about 2 o'clock that day, down I go, and they put a pacemaker in me. So I said, "Well, there ain't much more they can do to me for my heart." So they let me go home the next day, and I come home. I spent that night, and the next night I woke up about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was hurting so bad I couldn't stand it. I hurt all in here. So I got my son to drive me up to the emergency room there in Brookhaven, which they don't have any heart doctors or nothing there. And that doctor in that emergency room, he man, there ain't nothing I can do for you. You need to go up to University Hospital where they've done all this stuff. He said, "He had me on drugs, and I was doped up pretty good." So he threw my butt in the ambulance, and up to University Hospital I go. Well, when I get up there, they check my heart and everything. The first thing they done all, said everything's working fine, but you're full of infection. We can't have that infection with all the work you just had done. I said, "Yeah." They run a bunch of tests and come find out it's my gallbladder. So they come in the room and tell me, "Mr. Cox, it's your gallbladder. It's got to come out. But we can't do nothing right now because of all the infection. And we got to coordinate between the doctor put the pacemaker in and the doctor put the stent and the pig valve in. We all got to be in agreement because you've had a lot of extensive stuff done here in just the last 4, 5, 6 days." I said, "Yeah." So I laid in that bed and they pumped me with antibiotics for 3 days. I had diarrhea so bad you wouldn't believe in the antibiotics. Didn't eat nothing for 3 days. Didn't even have no water to drink. They wouldn't give me nothing. Not even ice chips. Had a vein, had to feed me through my vein. So they finally come down the third or fourth day. Said, "Look, we've talked over with all the heart doctors and the pacemaker doctor and all of them and everything. We're all in agreement. We think it's probably safe enough to do it now. We don't have all the infection down, but we can't wait no longer. But the final decision is you. You can say do it or don't do it." I said, "Take that son of a gun out. I'm tired of this crap." So they took my gallbladder out. Well, folks, I had all that done in a period of about 8 or 9 days. And that was a lot to go through. Well, I've always been a pretty active person. And that's been about 6 months ago. And I'm just now really starting to get a little bit of my strength on back. But also I have COPD. It's hard for me to breathe in this heat. So I've been wanting to build some birdhouses. And I'll show them to you a little bit later on. And some bat houses. And I'll show them to you. Well, I get up at 4:30 to 5 o'clock in the morning. I come out here and I'll work till about 9. And then I go inside and I'm inside for the rest of the day in the AC because I think I can't breathe, you know. I use a nebulizer and puffers and all this kind of stuff. So that's why I'm out doing out here this morning. I'm building bat houses. I got 3 of them built now. And I'm going to probably house somewhere close to 1,000 bats by the time I get them all put up. I got a booklet, looking at the dimensions and the sizes. They were showing house like 300, 350 bats. Mine's bigger than any of theirs. Bats like to be packed in tight. You would not believe. They're like sardines in a can. And they don't want very big areas. This right here, little area right here, is where they'll climb in and get in here. Nothing no higher than that right there. 1 inch. That's what I'm doing now. I'm fixing to take these, and these are going there like this. And see, I took just regular, let me tell you, a lot of my shows are talking about utilizing stuff you have just laying around. Well, that's what I've done. I had built all of these and all them birdhouses out on my pier. I just scrap fencing material that I've had piled up, And what better to build something out of than stuff you ain't got to go buy. And also, it's all treated, but it's been treated for probably 10 years, so it's not harmful to them. And what I'm doing, I go with the regular arm saw, I'm cutting grooves. You got to have something for them to hang on, because see, it stands up like those, see? They got to be able to hang on it. If you notice them over there, I got like hardware cloth and all that different kind of stuff in them. Well, hardware cloth is expensive, very expensive. So the ones I'm making now, I'm just grooving the board. That's one of the things they say you can do, just groove the board, as long as they got something hanging their toenails in. And it's very critical on building a bat house. The height is probably the most critical thing there is, the height and water. They got to be fairly close to a source of fresh water. Well, I live on a big lake, and I got a minnow pond up there, so, they got all the fresh water they want. But the pole is very important. The very minimum of height is 12 foot, preferably 16 to 18 to 20 foot. Because when the bats leave this here, they just turn loose and drop out. They're not like a bird, flap their wings and take off. They drop out, and then they open their wings to catch air and then start going. But they have got to have room to fall or they hit the ground. The minimum of 12 feet, minimum. There now.
How high are you going to put these up? I'm just curious.
I'm going to put them at least 16 foot.
Okay. I figured you'd go over.
2 of them is going to probably be 18 foot. I'm going to put 2 of them down there by the water's edge. I'm going to put 1 on the end of the pier. It's probably going to be 12 foot because I got another 3 foot going down to the water. It'll be hanging out over the water. So I give about 15 foot. That's plenty, But a lot of people have the wrong impression about bats. Oh, them things are horrible. They'll bite you and they'll pull your hair out and they carry rabies, blah, blah, blah. Bat is probably one of the most beneficial mammals on Earth. They'll eat between 3,000 and 5,000 mosquitoes a night per bat. Calculate that up one time. That's a lot of damn mosquitoes. And that will help control the mosquito population, especially right here around my place. They're probably close neighbors too, Because you see them flying out over that lake all the time. When it starts getting dark, boy, here they come.
I've seen them out there.
I don't know where they roosted at, but they roosted somewhere.
You've seen them out there? I've seen them out there, yeah.
But I got a friend of mine going to come help me put all these over this tractor, because it's going to take a tractor to stand the poles up. Because them are heavy. They're heavy. They probably weigh 60, 70, 80 pounds a piece. They all made out of solid lumber,
Yeah.
And 1 inch plywood backing and all that stuff, But I don't know how people got the wrong idea about bats. I guess because of watching vampire movies and stuff like that. And they do have vampire bats in Mexico that does drink blood from cows. I said, but most of your bats are very friendly. Imagine if you see one on the ground, you grab it and hurt it, would bite you. But they said the chance of getting rabies off of bats is less than any other animal on Earth. Raccoons, squirrels, possums, dogs, cats, all those you get rabies from a lot quicker than you can from a bat. Like I said, I've done a lot of research on it, and it was very enjoyable. And I kind of had about almost the same impression a lot of people does about bats. Oh, they look ugly little thing, bite you on it. No, they're they're very useful to society by controlling the insect population. And also, we have no more bees because the pesticides have killed them all. And my fruit trees, about the only thing I see out there that pollinates them at all is going to be the big old bumblebees or a few wasps. We have no more honeybees. I ain't seen no honeybees in 10, 12 years now. Well, I found out also bats pollinate. And they'll get a lot of insects out of your, like your orchard and all. They'll hang around an orchard a lot getting insects and all. They take them right off the limbs and stuff, you know. So they're going to be pretty beneficial. I'm really looking forward to getting some of them housed. Now, a lot of this lumber is old lumber. It's old fencing material. And a lot of it wasn't square and all like that. But, you know, I'm not taking a whole lot of pains with it. But I got caulking, and I've caulked every seam. And I don't think the bats are going to mind it being made out of used material because they're going to have a nice, dry, warm environment to live in. Because I got every seam caulked, and I get, you know, 4 or 5 coats of paint, good paint. So I think that it's going to be good, you know. Now, I'm going to show you something. Let's look on the inside of one of these bat houses, get an idea. Okay, here's the last one I built. I like this one. My son will come around the front part up here.
Yeah, hold on. Let me walk around.
That looks
Oh, yeah, gotcha. There you go.
okay. They like to be compact.
Is that the preserved body heat, probably?
I don't know. They just like, because the summertime, no, it can be 100 degrees. They're up to 125 degrees.
Okay.
But if you look in there, you can see they're not very wide apart.
Mm-mm.
You know, and what I've done, I kind of designed this one, and I made like little compartments they can crawl through, but once you get inside there a little ways, you see, it's open.
Right.
And also, I took some hardware cloth, I made like little ladders where they can climb from compartment to compartment with no trouble at all.
Okay.
So I think they're going to really like that. I really do.
And I know we got bats down by the pier because that's where I've seen them multiple
We
times.
got a lot of bats. Like I said, utilize stuff you have laying around. I always stress that. Don't go buy new stuff because a lot of times old stuff is better than you can buy. But utilize what you got. You'd be surprised what you can come up with.
So you'd say probably 80% at least of what these bat houses made out was stuff you already had laying around? Or 90%? 90%. Okay, so you didn't have to buy hardly anything.
I bought a hardware cloth, and I bought one roll of it. It was like $18 or $20. I was able to make 1.5 birdhouses. I said, boy, that's over with.
Hey, the boards work. Like that book said, the boards
The
work.
board worked just as good.
And y'all will see him cutting little notches in the board. We got a little short video on that.
Yeah, I just get over there on that regular arm saw, and I just shoot, and that way they get their little claws in there, hold on.
Yep.
I think you can put them on here, so I'll cut these couple pieces here. But,
would you like to show the people where the bat house is going to be, real quick?
yeah.
We'll walk back because we got a few minutes.
Plus, I'll show them the birdhouses.
Yeah. You gonna take your 4-wheeler?
No.
Okay, we're gonna walk it. All right, I'll just stay right behind you then. You know, see, it's morning out here on the lake.
Do the birdhouses come in at all at this distance?
We're gonna have to get a lot closer.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably get to see where your ladder is. Get about there, and they should be coming in. Okay, you can see them now. You can see them now. I'll get you in the shot. Give me a second. Okay, you in the shot, they're in the shot.
Okay, I started building them probably a month ago. They all built out of used material. They made out of fencing material. You see the one just round?
Mm-hmm.
I had some 8-inch PVC pipe. I said, hell, I'm going to make some out of that too. Like I said, I use everything I can find.
Yeah?
So I made them, and I got them named. The one down this end, I call that the future.
Okay.
In the future, it's not going to be much land. They're going to have to build houses going up.
Like the Jetsons.
So see how that's made, okay? The next one is just a typical birdhouse. I call it typical birdhouse, okay?
Gotcha.
The next one I call the lighthouse because if you notice, like a birdhouse on the bottom and you see going up. I got 3 of them. I call them the lighthouses.
I like that.
Then the one on the very end, I call that the chicken house. It reminds me of a big, long chicken house.
Okay.
I named them, you know.
Yeah.
And that was a job getting them song guns up there. A friend of mine helped me do it. Them things were heavy.
And
Yeah.
the bat house is going to go out there, but where's the, show where they're going to go.
I'm going to show you where I'm going to put my first one, the one with the 2 houses on. It's going to go right here. Right here. I put this up years ago and I had birdhouses all over it. It's a cedar tree. And it done rotted. I'm going to get my buddy with his tractor to come jerk it up. If you turn around, I don't know if you can see it or not, but look on that side of my shop, that tall pole sticking up.
That cross-looking pole, yeah.
That's coming down. That 2x4 is coming off there. The bat house is going to be mounted, and it's going to be stood in that hole right there because it's probably 20 foot tall.
Oh, at least, yeah.
That's where them 2 big bat houses are going, right here by the water's edge.
That'll be perfect because they'll be right here by the pier. Go ahead.
So, I have really been enjoying myself, and I've been staying busy.
And you know what? It's not that bad out here this time in the morning.
Anybody that lives to a source of fresh water and all, that wants to help control the mosquito population, they used to bat houses and put them up. They don't have to be as big as mine. A lot of them are only, I've seen some of them are like 16 inches by 24 inches, and just 2 compartments in them.
Mm-hmm.
They'll hold 100 bats.
Hey, that's a lot of bats.
You know, I mean, them song guns, they pack in there like sardines. Another thing I thought was very interesting is they have a pecking order. When the house up on that pole, they circle the house just before daylight, or right at daylight to go in to sleep, because they hunt 12 hours and they sleep 12 hours. The oldest, the strongest go in first because they go all the way up top where it's better.
Mm-hmm.
And as the next level, all the way down. And the ones on the bottom, you can imagine they get covered with poop pretty good.
I'm sure they do.
But not only are they beneficial, eating the mosquitoes and other insects, the bat poop is fantastic for plants.
Mm-hmm.
It's full of nitrogen and all kind of stuff. You can even mix it in water and let it dissolve off. You can put it on your flowers and stuff. It's really very good.
There's people that harvest it and sell it. I mean, it's a valuable commodity.
So that's about the end of my demonstration on the bat house. I'm gonna get working back on this. Get this one built today probably, or till about 9. I'm going inside. I get starting to get warm already.
Yes, sir. It's already. It's only what time is it now? Because I don't have a watch on.
Yeah, it's 8:15.
Yeah, and it's already starting to get a little warm, folks. It's Mississippi in the summer, so
Yeah.
and we're having one of the hottest summers we've had in a while.
Now I might not actually go with like just 2 compartments in this one. I'm not sure yet. I ain't made my mind.
Okay, I like it though. I like all 3 of these.
Yeah,
you did a good job.
But I use my imagination. Here's going to be made. Well, it's got little compartments like this one.
Right.
Going up in there, and they can go all through it and all. They love climbing up through holes and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Very adventurous animals.
Yeah, they are. They're fascinating. Go get you a book out of the library and read up on bats. They are something now. I'm telling you, they are something.
Let's say if you had your book out here, I'd have you show because it's on Amazon. And it wasn't that much, but it's in the house. I don't feel like running it.
Sure they got it at the library.
Oh, they got it at the library too.
You know.
Yeah.
You go to the library and read a book out on I don't know how to build bat houses and all about bats and stuff.
Yeah.
How beneficial they are and everything, you know. Now, I don't know if I would, if I seen one on the ground, I'd actually go out there and pick it up. Because it might bite you. It's got teeth.
Yeah.
And any animal will bite you. I mean.
It's just self-defense, yeah.
Yeah. But they can climb like you wouldn't believe. I mean, them someone's going to go up a tree in a heartbeat, you know.
Yeah.
And different parts of the country, or maybe up north now, where your bark sticks out from the tree a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They'll go and have their babies underneath that bark if they don't have holes in trees and stuff to go in.
Makes shelter. Makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a pretty good thing, you know. Well, folks, I'm going to end my show, and I'm going to tell you what I always end it with. Life is short, but death is forever. And I feel like I cheated death. See you later, folks.